So we have a few speakers here, and we're going to start with Fred Foldvary. He's, you may recognize him from Santa Clara University. He's an economic lecturer. He's got his BA at UC Berkeley, and MA and doctorate in economics from George Mason University. And of course, he's taught at a number of schools, and he's currently lecturing, of course, here at Santa Clara. He's got numerous books added to his credit, and his current research includes public finance, governance, ethical philosophy, and land economics. So, welcome, Fred Foldvary.
Thank you. Good evening. I've been doing research on business cycles for the last 20 years, and I came across the writings of the real estate economist Homer Hoyt, H-O-Y-T, and all students of real estate should read Homer Hoyt. His first book was 100 Years of Land Value in Chicago, written during the Great Depression. And Homer Hoyt had discovered a real estate cycle with an average period of 18 years in Chicago, and that coincides with the major business cycles in the United States. And what Hoyt discovered was that real estate, both in land value and in construction, peaks out 1 or 2 years before the beginning of major recessions, panics, and depressions. And that's been going on for 200 years. So, but he didn't have an explanation of the business cycle. So for a theory of the business cycle, now economists have many different theories, there's no unified theory, but the theory that to me made the most sense was that of the Austrian School of Economics, in which a monetary expansion artificially lowers the interest rates, induces too much investment in capital goods, the chief of which is real estate, as a long-lived capital good sensitive to the interest rates. And then you have, but these turn out to be bad investments as interest rates go back up and other costs go back up. These turn out to be bad investments, construction stops, people get laid off, and there's a recession. But it was still incomplete. I needed the land portion of the story, and for that I turned to the American economist Henry George, who in the late 1800s wrote a book called Progress and Poverty, and in there he had a real estate theory of the business cycle, one of the early business cycle theories, and that was very complimentary because there he says that much of the gains from an economic expansion go to higher rent and land value, and so as the economy expands, speculators jump in, which increase the demand even more, and you have an escalation of real estate prices, which is unsustainable, and then you have a peaking out and then a crash. And so I synthesized all that into an article on the business cycle that was published in 1997 in the American Journal of Economics and Sociology. And in there, I said the last real estate-based recession was 1990, count 18, the average period was 18 years. Count 18 years after 1990, you get to 2008. So in 1997, I said there would be a severe recession, most likely in the year 2008. I believe the earliest prediction of the crash of 2008. But then in 2007, I saw it was clearly coming because I saw real estate had already peaked out and things were already starting to fall. So I wrote this booklet called The Depression of 2008. This was written early in 2007, and one of the reasons I wrote it is because I went to this conference in Las Vegas called Freedom Fest. It's held every year. And I told the organizer I want to have a session predicting a crash in 2008. And so the title was whether there'll be a depression in 2008, guaranteed. I didn't say guaranteed. The organizer put that in to make it more provocative. But anyway, I was a little worried, but I was pretty confident. And sure enough, it came right on schedule in 2008. And I sold a bunch of these at Freedom Fest, enough to pay for my whole trip. And in fact, I sold these for 25 bucks each. People said, 25 for this little booklet? I said, hey, if you read this and understand it and apply it, this is gold, right? Which it turned out to be. And I went back to Freedom Fest just last summer because the organizer, Mark Skousen, who writes a financial letter, Forecast and Strategies, he had a panel, which an all-star panel of those who accurately predicted the crash in 2008. I was on that panel. So now what about the prospects in the future? Well, the real estate cycle theory and history does not precisely predict what happens after the crash. But indications are that real estate has bottomed out and the recession has bottomed out. Many commentators, including Bernanke of the Fed, have said that the recession is over. People sometimes get recession and depression mixed up. The recession is a fall in GDP when output is falling. So the recession can be over, but the economy is still in a depression. There's high unemployment. So it takes a while, and it's going to take a while for the economy to recover, and real estate is going to be flat for a while. It may not go down further. First of all, it's been artificially stimulated by the government, including the tax credits for buying a house and everything they're doing to help people with mortgages. So this is an artificial stimulation of the real estate market. The best thing would be just to allow real estate to crash, because low asset prices is what brings about a recovery. And in fact, if you look at the economy, in 1920 there was a severe depression in the United States, and President Harding did nothing, zero, about it, and the economy recovered in a year. And then there was the Great Depression that started in 1929, and both Hoover and Roosevelt did a lot to try to restore the economy, and it went on for 10 years. So it's not that the government should do nothing, but the things that they've been doing are just basically not very effective. So real estate is bottoming out, but I see maybe a couple of years of flat, not rising prices, nothing happening because of the large inventory, and because the government is about to raise taxes. Exactly how much depends on what Congress does, but the tax cuts of the early decade is going to expire in January 2011. There could be higher taxes for the cap and trade pollution program, depending on what they do. And the medical care, something's going to pass. There could be higher taxes for that. And they're talking about higher taxes for the rich. They're even talking about a value-added tax. In other words, in addition to the income tax and the sales taxes we have, commodity taxes, a value-added tax like they have in Europe, on top of the current tax system and not replacing it. So the prospect of higher taxes is going to make the recovery slower than it could have been. The worst thing you could do is raise taxes in the middle of a recession or depression, but evidently that's what they're going to do. So, but, government has boosted real estate for 200 years. If you look at what government does, it seems to be their main aim is to increase land values. And so you in real estate can profit from that, and there will be another real estate boom, one way or another. It's going to boom again. Prices will go up because it's been happening for 200 years. And so, and real estate captures the gains from economic expansion. It all goes into higher land values and higher land rent. Then the speculators come in, and the same thing's going to happen again. So when is the next crash? I'm going to tell you now when the next big crash is. Again, the 18-year cycle. So you count 18 years from 2008, you get to 2026. So I'm telling you right now that, so that's a long way from now, but in 1997, 2008 seemed like a long way off. So there'll be another real estate boom, even if it's artificially induced by government. And so there'll be a good ride, but watch out, because the next crash, see, the government has borrowed and created, trillions of dollars. Next time the government will be tapped out. Nobody will lend it any money, and so then it'll be even worse after the next crash. So get out before the crash.
Great. Thank you.